Good evening, students. In the last session, today's subject is the GST. Right? In the last session, what are the topics we have covered?
Types of GSTs.
Types of transactions and benefits of GST.
Benefits of GST and
Types of transaction.
types of transaction. In the benefits of GST, what are the points we have covered?
One nation, one tax.
One nation, one tax. Then
Reduce cost of compliances.
reduction cost of the compliances. Then
Simple tax.
simple tax
Reduction
structure.
of cascading effect.
Reduction of cascading effects. Then
Development of common national market.
common national market. Very good.
Increases revenue efficiency.
Very good. And
Increases savings investment.
saving investments, right? These are the points we have covered in the last lecture in the topic of the benefits of GST. Okay. Now in the transaction, basically it is divided into two parts. One is the intrastate transaction and the one is the interstate transaction. What is the intrastate transaction? Intrastate transaction, yes.
Transaction between between two parties inside a state.
Means in the GST, how we will define the intrastate transaction? If the supplier and recipient both are located in the same state, goods कहीं पे भी delivered हो, उससे हमको consider नहीं करना है. When the goods supplier and recipient, right? If it is located in the same state, then such transaction called the intrastate transaction. Interstate transaction, Rajesh?
Inter-transaction means the transaction are between two states.
Between two states, means we can say that if the supplier and recipient both are located in the different state, located in different state, then such transaction called what? The interstate transaction. Here, these two topics we have seen in the previous session, right? Today we are going to cover the ITC. How many knows the ITC, input tax credit? Fatima, are you aware about the ITC? In the old taxation law also the same concept we have arrived. Today's topic is the ITC. ITC, that is the full form of ITC, input tax credit. Input tax credit. What is the meaning of input tax credit? Suppose if we buy this marker, right? Suppose this Mr. X person is there, okay? And I am going to purchase this marker from the X, right? At what price? 100 rupees. Now I am the purchasing. And purchase, it is nothing but the input for the business, right? I am purchasing this marker at 100 rupees. But obviously, if she is a registered person under the GST and this marker is at levied a GST rate at the rate 12%, then she will charge me the GST, that is 12 rupees. Finally, your value of this marker is how much it is? 112. Now, if I sell this same marker to Mr. Z, right, at what price? Suppose 150 rupees, right? So, if the same marker, the GST rate will be the same. So finally, your GST amount is how much? 18 rupees. And I am collecting the, how much it is? 168 rupees from the Z, right? So Now, what I am collecting as a GST, that I am liable to pay to the government, right? तो गवर्नमेंट को मैं बोलता हूँ कि दिस इज द 18 रुपीज विच आई एम लाइबल टू पे टू दी गवर्नमेंट, ठीक है. अभी इसमें से already I have already paid these 12 rupees when I am purchasing the goods same from Mr. X, that is the 12 rupees मैंने paid कर दिया है. Out of this 150, 100 rupees I have already paid, right? So remaining on 50 rupees I am actually liable to pay to the government. So this 12 rupees which is paid on the input, right, that is my the input tax credit, right? Now I want to explain these things in the picture manner, right? In the picture manner I will explain this, right? In the last session, just before, we have discussed how this ITC is worked in this system, right? अभी यहाँ पे मैंने as per the picture manner आपको यहाँ पे मैं explain करने का try करता हूँ कि this is the first transaction and this is the second transaction. In the first transaction, here the Mr. A is the supplier and Mr. B is the recipient. When Mr. A supplies these goods to Mr. B, right, as per the invoice details, this thing, right, here the Mr. A is supplying the goods of rupees 10,000 and here both it is the intrastate nature of the transaction, right? So but always in the intrastate, which nature of the duties and taxes and what the types of GST is levied, the CGST and the SGST is levied, right? Here as per these details, then if the Mr. A supplies the goods of rupees 10,000, but obviously the rate of GST is 6%, CGST 6%, SGST levied, right? Then Mr. A is specified these tax details separately in the invoice, right? So CGST is collected 600, SGST collected 600, right? So finally your gross value of the invoice is how much? 11,200. For B, this is the cost for the goods, right? But in the next transaction, when B become as a supplier and C become as a recipient, here Mr. B is going to sell the same goods at rupees 12,000 rupees, but obviously 2,000 its profit he is going to earn from the same goods, right? And but obviously he is also the registered person. He will raise the tax invoice first of all, right? And at 12,000 rupees, he is also collect this 720 as a CGST and as a SGST, right? So finally the gross value how much Mr. B is collecting? 13,400, which is paid by C this amount to B. Now here in this scenario we are going to calculate how much the B is going to take the ITC as well as what is the actual GST liability of Mr. B. Now look at the downside the table, right? Particulars, value of supply, CGST and SGST, right? Here what I have put the heading, B's GST liabilities, right? Here output, that is what the sales, Mr. B sells these goods at rupees how much it is, 12,000. Here they have charged the CGST and SGST. How much it is, 720 and 720. And when he is going to purchase, at what rate he has purchased, that is the input they purchase. At what price he has purchased? 10,000. That is the net price. And CGST is how much?
600.
And SGST is how much?
600.
600. So finally 720, out of this 720, in case of the CGST 600 is minus, and here the SGST is also 600. So this 600 which is minus from the CGST and SGST, that is called the ITC. What is the full form of ITC?
Input tax credit.
Credit, right? So this is my the input tax credit. Clear it? Right? Here I have just drawn one table. What is the meaning of drawn this table? there is a sequence of set of the ITC. What is the sequence? There is a, suppose this is the basically the types of the GST duty tax: CGST, SGST, IGST and duty GST. These are the suppose output liability, right? Out of this, and how to adjust this output liability against the input, that is the sequence. First we are going to discuss first the IGST. First, IGST output liability adjusts with the input IGST. Output IGST adjusts with the input IGST first, right? If there is an excess IGST, then it is a set off to the output CGST, and then after set off with the CGST, then it helps or set off against the SGST output liability, right? This is the case of the IGST. First I have discussed, right? Second case, after the adjust with the IGST against the output CGST, if there is a, in case there is a output liabilities balance in CGST, then adjust with the input CGST. Secondly, the same manner is set off the ITC in case of the SGST. Suppose IGST CGST से एडजस्ट होने के बाद में SGST पे आया, SGST में भी IGST सेट ऑफ हो गया अगेंस्ट द SGST, राइट? एंड that is the input tax credit, then secondly adjust with the state tax liability, right? And the IGST is adjust with the, then secondly first it is output IGST adjust with the input IGST, then if there is a liabilities incurred and CGST is excess, then CGST again set off with the output IGST and the output, then SGST input adjust with the output IGST. And there is a UTGST. Already I have discussed the what is the UTGST, Union Territory State. In the case of the Union Territory State, the first adjust with the IGST, then second UTGST, same nature of the tax, then CGST helps or set off to the UTGST output liability, then last the state government GST tax is set off the UTGST. Understood the? So first you note down this table, then I am going to give you one question, that is to set off the output liability against as per this sequence of the input tax credit. Clear it? Clear it? Please see at the see on the board. Okay. Here I have given you there is question, right? And I have given you the output liability and the input, right? Just to set off it as per this table sequence and find out the GST liability, right? Just I am giving you the 5 minutes and find out the actual net tax liability. Clear it? Please solve this question. Please close down your text box. Look at the board. Now I am going to solve this problem, then I will check each and everyone's answers. Okay? First, just you give me the answer together. Okay? First IGST को set off होगा, right? How much is the excess amount? Yes, 1,60,000. Then out of this excess of IGST 1,60,000, Rajesh, first this 1,60,000 क्या करेंगे?
CGST में से लेस करेंगे.
CGST में से लेस करेंगे. So मैं यहाँ पे ऐसा लिख सकता हूँ 1,00,000 rupees adjusted with CGST, right? So here is my this 1,00,000 rupees. Okay? This 1,00,000 rupees. This output first adjust with this IGST input. Right? So is there any balance for payment? No, it is a become 0, right? Remaining is how much it is excess of IGST?
60,000.
60,000. This excess CGST, Fatima, where we will use this 60,000 excess? Input of SGST now. CGST already we have set off it, right? So CGST 60,000. This excess of IGST adjusted with the SGST, right? So this excess CGST, IGST minus this 1 lakh rupees first minus with this 60,000, remaining is how much it is? 40,000 table showing. Now this is finish. After this, as output SGST adjust with secondly the input SGST. So this 45,000 will use 500. How much is balance? 500. 5,500. It is an excess. So the conclusion, what is the conclusion? If you will see here in this problem, what is the conclusion? CGST is wholly excess. This input CGST, that is a 45,500. It is an excess. And what is the SGST? It is an excess with the amount of 5,500. And what is the input IGST? It is a nil. So this is your answer. Clear? Rajesh, Yash, and what about your mistake? Where you have did the mistake? In IGST or CGST? Last SGST. Okay. Please, first you recall this one. Now we are going to call together and discuss the same things on with together, right? सब लोग साथ में बोलेंगे, ठीक है? अभी यहाँ पे first we will start with the IGST. IGST first input किससे set off होता है? IGST से. Secondly CGST से. Third SGST से. Then we will come on the CGST. CGST first set off with the IGST. Then CGST. Then third we come on the SGST. SGST first set off with the IGST. Then SGST. Then we will come on the fourth part, that is the UTGST. UTGST first with adjust with the IGST. Then
UTGST.
Third
CGST.
Fourth
SGST.
So this is the sequence of the set of the input tax credit. Clear it? Then we will continue. Here our today's session is going to over. We will continue with the next session, that is on tomorrow on the same time. Okay? Thank you very much, student.
Thank you.